Hi, and welcome back to Lisa's Stamp Studio. A few weeks ago, I had a YouTube follower ask me if I would do a video on tags, and I actually had one planned. But today, I'm taking it a step further. Not only am I going to teach you some tags, I've also got an adorable gift box that's going to hold them. It makes it a great gift for all year round. Here's a quick look at the box, and I'll show you the tags when we get over to the stamp table so you can get a closer look. If this is your first time visiting my YouTube channel, I would love to encourage you to subscribe. Click that subscribe button down below, and next to it, you'll find a small bell icon. If you click that, you'll receive notifications when I'm live here on YouTube, as well as when I upload a new video. Let's head over to the stamp table and let's get started on today's project. Here's a better look of the box we're going to create. It's really simple. And inside, I was able to place in gift tags. Now, I created mine in bundles of 2, and I'll share those with you. But let's start by creating the box together. I'm going to start by using my paper trimmer that also includes a scoring blade. The blade here that's lighter is the scoring, and the darker blade is for cutting. And for those of you that are just looking at this for the first time, this is the brand new Stampin' Up! Trimmer that will be introduced to you soon. As a demonstrator, I was able to pre-order this, so I have mine ahead of time. You are going to love this. There's a great lever here in the center that will open and close this track, and it locks down in place when you transport it. In addition to that, there's an arm here on the side that opens up that extends just past 17 inches. And we're going to do some scoring to create the box itself. I'm going to have all the cutting dimensions for today's project down in the video description below if you are here visiting from YouTube. This is 4 3/4 by 7, and I'm going to start with my first score line on the long side at 2 1/4 inch. So with my light blade, I'm at 2 1/4. I'm going to move over now to 3 1/4, and then 5 1/2, and my last one is at 6 1/2. I'm going to turn my paper, and I'm going to make a score line at 1 inch. This is going to be for the bottom of the box. Whenever you're creating a 3D project, it's really important that you reinforce those score lines. I've got my bone folder here, so I'm going to go up around each one of those and just crease this well. I want to make sure that my box is nice and sturdy. I've inverted it just so that you can see the score lines a little bit better. And I'm going to take my paper snips, and I'm going to cut away this small little rectangle here in the corner. We don't need this. And then from the edge of the paper up to that 1 inch score line, we're going to create slits right on those score marks. This is going to create the bottom of the box. I also find that if I cut these slightly on an angle on one side, my box will go together just a little bit easier for me. I don't know about you, but we can never score just perfectly or cut perfectly, so that helps to compensate for that. I'm going to be using a strong tear and tape adhesive. If you like to use liquid glue, that'll be fine, but I don't recommend regular adhesives. You want something nice and strong when you're creating a 3D project. So I'm going to come right down that strip, and I'll tear. I'm going to rub that paper backing down inside, and with my Take Your Pick tool, I've got the paper piercing tool attachment here. I'm going to go ahead and reveal the other sticky side. And then all we're going to have to do is fold this and close it up on top of itself. It'll actually be just a perfect box that way. Now here on the bottom, we've got our 2 smaller tabs that we cut on the angle. We're going to put those to the inside. So I'm going to add a little bit of extra tear and tape here. I'll take that tool again, and I'll remove that paper backing. All we'll do now is line up those sides and just press that closed. To help get inside, to make sure that tape is good and stuck, I'm going to use my bone folder just to press down inside of there. So we've got the base of the box, really quite simple. Next, I created an area for the handles, and I wanted to keep with the same shape as my tags. I've cut 2 strips of real red cardstock. These measure 2 by 4 3/4, and I'm going to be using the scalloped tag topper punch. This is the same punch that I used for my tags. I'm going to line both of these up at the same time, and I'll slide them up the track. I don't recommend more than 2 pieces of cardstock. You don't want to jam this. And then using the heel of my hand, I will press, and that will punch out the tag shape. One thing you'll notice that the tag is slightly smaller than the box itself, and I had to make the box slightly wider to be able to get the tags inside. So what I did to compensate for that difference is I used some designer series paper, and I mounted it over the top of the tag that will get attached here to the front and to the back of the box. Now this designer series paper comes from a beautiful product medley called Most Wonderful Time. I have had a blast using this. It is an all-inclusive kit. So you're going to get the stamp set, the dies, the sticker sheets, the star embellishments, the tinsel trim, the foil cardstock layers, and 48 sheets of 6x6 double-sided designer series paper. You're going to see a lot of that. It has a gold foil embellishment in the paper. It's just beautiful. That's going to be found here in the Stampin' Up! Holiday Catalog. Now, if you don't already have a demonstrator and you're interested in receiving a complimentary copy, head over to lisasstampstudio.com and click on Contact Me. I'm going to be using my silicone craft sheet. Adhesive, hot glue, and liquid glue will not stick to it. It simply rubs right off. This is going to keep my work surface nice and clean. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add adhesive to one of those tags, and I'm going to work across. I'm going to put several stripes. Now I want to make sure I don't go too high because I know that the designer paper doesn't go all the way to the edge. So this is the side I want facing up. So I'm going to turn my paper upside down. Here's that gorgeous gold foil that I talked to you about in the designer paper. And again, they're double-sided. Sticky side down. I'm able now to gauge to make sure this is centered as much as possible. I'm looking to align the edge of the red cardstock to the edge of the designer series paper, and then I'll press that in place. This now will be the front panel. I'm going to do the exact same thing now with this panel. These now will get attached to the front and the back of the box. Now there's several ways you can do this. On my original box, I used tear and tape, and I placed it right along the edge here of where the designer paper and the cardstock meets and across the bottom on 3 sides. And then I placed the other strip here across the top. You don't want to place it here because remember, this is a little bit higher than what we're going to need. The second way is to use liquid glue. And for the sake of the video, I decided to use that with you today so that you could see the other option. Remember I said that liquid glue, hot glue, and adhesive will not stick to this. So it's going to allow me a chance to just get this started to make sure that I don't have it coming out in clumps. So I'm working along the edge here. I'm not going to work too closely because I want to make sure that I allow room for that glue to spread once I press it. And then I'm going to put a little bit here at the top. And then I'll take my tag and I'm going to align the bottom edge, and making sure that my sides are even, I'm going to press. The great thing about the liquid glue is it gives you a little bit of wiggle room before it sets. And then I'm going to lay that down and let that dry. Now I'm going to work on the other side. I'm going to work some more glue here at the top, just like we did before. And then here along the perimeter of the designer paper and the cardstock. And then this will go on this side. Again, I'm careful to align the sides and the bottom of the box. Once this glue is dry, it'll turn opaque, and then I'm able to rub it right off the silicone craft sheet. To help make sure that it's all tacked down, I'm just going to slide my bone folder right inside my box and just give that a little press. And then I'll flip it over and do the same thing on this side because my hand will not fit in there. Now I'm going to let this dry, and while it does that, I'm going to show you the tags, and then we're going to come back and do the handle. As I said, I created 2 of each of the designs that you see here using the sticker sheets that are included, the designer series paper, the stamp set, and the dies. This makes this really simple. Now I did choose to add a 1 1/2 inch circle punch for one of these tags, ribbon for the top. I'm going to have all the supplies listed down in the link below. So the stamps and the greetings are all included, and I'll show those to you. These beautiful foil layers are included. Here's just a couple of them here. I've used quite a bit of this medley already, and I still have a ton of designer series papers left. And again, like I said, they are double-sided. So look at the shimmer in these. Aren't these beautiful? This is a very abundant medley of products. Here are the dies and the stamp set that I used on some of the tags. Then you'll see some of these beautiful gold stars. They already have glue dots on the back, making them easy to use, and the beautiful tinsel trim. These tags here are actually designer series paper, and since designer paper is a lot thinner, I want to show you how I created these to be a little bit thicker. So you'll see that I used the sticker sheets here. I've used lots and lots of these stickers already, so you can see quite a few are missing. And I have loved using them because the detail and design is absolutely beautiful. It makes creating tags really simple. And then 2 others with the gift packages. Here's those stamps and dies. And then lastly, this beautiful designer series paper. Those little gray stars are inside the sticker sheets. There's that punch that I told you that I used. So let me show you how I reinforce these tags to make these a little bit sturdier. This is a 2 inch by 4 1/2 inch piece of Whisper White cardstock and an exact same size of designer series paper. And then I'm going to use my silicone craft sheet once again, and on the wrong side of my designer paper, I'm going to lay my adhesive generously around the edges. This layer then will get adhered and mirrored to the Whisper White cardstock. You want to mirror it as closely as possible and press that in place. Then I'm going to use the exact same scalloped tag topper punch that we used to create the outside, and I'm putting both pieces through the punch at one time, and then I'll punch that out. By adding the designer series paper to the top of the cardstock first, you are assured of a perfect alignment versus punching them individually and trying to glue them together and line up the hole. And then, as I said, I went ahead and I used the stamps and the coordinating dies to decorate this tag, as well as all the others, including the stickers. Made it super easy, and I have tons left over to create lots more. I created 12 tags in all, and I tucked those right down inside of my box. If you don't embellish yours as much as I did, and of course not use dimensionals, that's going to allow you extra space to add even more tags. I added ribbon that was very soft and pliable that allowed me a little extra space here at the top. You're going to want to fill the box with the tags before you add the handle. I have a strip here of cardstock that's real red that matches the card base, that matches the box base. This is a 1/2 inch by 6.5. I'm going to take my finger and I'm just going to curl this very slightly just to get a little curvature to this. I'm going to be using my glue dots for this next step. And let me show you how it's going to go in first. I want to hide this hole, but it's also going to play double duty to hold the handle. So that's going to slide down inside of here. I want to make sure on the inside that I've got this tucked down enough and enough area to adhere it. You can use liquid glue or you can use tear and tape. I'm going to use glue dots. I'm going to place a couple here, and I do recommend a stronger adhesive. This is just for the sake of the video. And I'm going to place that down inside. I'm making sure that my handle is down inside, and I'm going to tack that in place. I'm going to come around the back side. Remember, this is going to go down inside the hole so that my glue dots now are going to need to be on the back side. So I'm going to place one glue dot here, just carefully just twisting that paper because it's real pliable. That's going to go down inside the hole. And then once again, I'm going to hold this and I'm going to gauge where I want it. I'm going to press that in place. And now we have our handle attached to our box. And then all I did was I used the embellishments from this product medley, including the stickers and the dies, to create this beautiful focal point on the front of the box. This product medley, called Most Wonderful Time, includes enough designer series paper, embellishments, and stickers, the stamps and the dies to create lots and lots of tags and cards. If you have enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up here on YouTube. That is a like, and it certainly helps. You can find all the products today that I've used at lisasstampstudio.com, and there you can find my generous and exclusive ordering rewards program. Thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to seeing you next time. Have a great day.